Hello, I'm Reverend Kenny Callahan, the pastor of Metropolitan Community Church in Richmond, Virginia. This coming weekend, many people will gather with family and friends to celebrate the 4th of July, a day in which we remember the signing of the Declaration of Independence in 1776. Likely, the most famous statement in the Declaration of Independence is in the second paragraph. The words go like this: "We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all people are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, and among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness." The question is, by our attitudes, our actions, and our behaviors towards others, do we really believe that statement to be true, especially with those who are different from ourselves? How do we treat people with different color skin, ethnic backgrounds, sexuality, and gender differences than our own? How comfortable are we when issues of prejudice, bigotry, racism, sexism, ableism, politics, and the like come up in conversations, especially at church? How do we feel and treat those who have different opinions and perspectives and positions on matters of justice than our own? And most importantly, how does our faith inform our decision making and how we treat others, especially when they are different than what we assume they should be? At MCC Richmond, folks are talking about these social justice realities and issues in lots of places, just not here at church. I'm proud that MCC Richmond is a safe place where people actually don't mind openly engaging and having conversations about matters of faith, social justice, equity, and relevant and other controversial topics and realities of life that affect one another, our community, and our world. MCC Richmond is not a place where people are told what or how to think or what to believe. This spiritual community takes the task of helping others explore and discover spiritual truth and spiritual principles. We take Christian formation seriously enough to offer perspectives on how our faith matters in helping us navigate the challenges that we face in life, while also seeking to make a positive difference for others in our world and in our community. It can be a difficult task to talk openly about intentional marginalization, racism, sexism, ableism, ageism, stigma, gender bias, and other injustices, because it hits close to home. Some bear the scars of injustice here, while others here fear being accused of it. It can be frightening to contemplate changing moral values, or more accurately, acknowledging our own changed sense of what really is moral and true, while also facing our own personal and collective prejudices, racism, and privilege. And in the face of these challenges, it can be really, really tempting to want to throw up our hands in frustration and just walk away, instead of doing our best to work towards healing, justice, and equity. Instead, some develop attitudes to simply try to keep things the same old, to gather with those who look and think like us, and draw the boundaries of who's in and who's out a little tighter. Yet down deep, we know this is not the kind of ministry that God has called us to. Every time you draw a line between who's in and who's out, you can bet that you'll find Jesus on the other side. And the steps that we may take, the steps that most of us actually want to take to seek change, towards greater acceptance, even when it means uncomfortable moments of self-discovery, acceptance of our own isms, and difficult conversations. it's easier to take when we don't walk this path of healing alone. And so we turn for help and courage to one another and to Jesus, the one who equips us with the power to face down the spirits of injustice in whatever form they appear. We take these steps together, knowing that God is with us and blessing us as we move forward and seek freedom for ourselves and others, because that's what it means to be part of a spiritual community and live our lives as people of faith in this world, learning to take personal responsibility for our behavior and our healing, learning to take the risk to stand up and to speak up for justice, the rights and freedom of others, and to share God's transforming love, which knows no boundary, while insisting that all people should be celebrated as the beloved of God, just the way they are, created equal by our Creator and given life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Thanks be to God.